Hey everyone, welcome to Princess of Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with another episode of Symphogear, episode 9. And last time we had our friends making up. Miku and Hibiki made up. Chris is still confused by humanity and just trying to figure out what to do. Um, Things are progressing, but we also can see that shit's starting to get a little more big, a little more real. So we only have like a few episodes left in this season, so we I don't know where it's going to go. I don't know how this is going to end, but I'm kind of excited. I'm kind of interested to see what they do. So with that being said, we're not going to waste any time here. We're just going to go right into it. So, when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play, because after it fades to black and then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episode. So, that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So, a few of these episodes lately, like the last two episodes we did, and now this episode, I believe it was the last two episodes. Either way, a couple of these episodes have felt like pretty, not fillery or slice of lifey exactly, but a lot calmer. You know what I mean? Like it's been a lot lighter in terms of tone and overall feeling. And there's still been some action, still been some fights and whatnot. But it has felt lighter to me. And that concerns me. Because there's like 4 episodes left in the season. And the only thing I can think of as to why they would be doing this, as to why they would be keeping it lighter and more calm and, everything, would be that we're going to be going into some heavy shit. And this series has had heavy shit. It's got a lot of trauma babies. It's just intense stuff. And we've even found out about Chris's backstory a little more in this episode. And it's like, yeah, that's pretty intense. Pretty fucked up and heavy. But I think we're going to like really lean into that in wherever this finale goes. Fine is clearly going to reveal herself. She's no longer going to hide under the guise of Ryoko. I fully believe that that's going to be like revealed. And there's probably going to be like a big battle here. That's probably going to involve Hibiki, Tsubasa, and Chris all taking on Fine. But I don't know how it's going to go. And now with Tsubasa, apparently she's going to be going overseas. Is that going to interfere with this? Is like that going to be around the same time? Because then if Tsubasa's not there, Tsubasa ends up missing out on that. It's like that's going to be a big handicap, right? I'm curious where this is going, where they're going with all of this, and how this season's going to end. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Like I said, we got about 4 more episodes, and yeah, we're definitely going to get through them. I'm just interested to see what they do with all of this and how they handle how they handle what's clearly going to be pretty big. I mean, when you have a season finale, it's got to be big anyway. But yeah, this episode was outside of like the Chris stuff, which was, and you know the fact that there was an ending fight and everything. It was pretty chill. You have Tsubasa, Miku, and Hibiki going on a date with each other, which, like, it's directly stated to be a date. Like, Hibiki directly asks her out on a date. It's not even subtle about it. Like, there's obviously no kiss or anything, or any, like, they really don't lean into the romantic ideas too much, but they make it very clear nonetheless that it's like, oh yeah, this is pretty damn gay. Again, she just directly asks her out. They go on a 3-person date, and it's like, okay, so now are we going to be shipping all 3 of them? We have a poly ship here, a polycule? Because I don't ship a lot of polycules. There's actually very few that I do. The examples I can think of off the top of my head are like the Cutie Mark Crusaders from MLP, or Sasha and Marcy from Amphibia. Like, those are really the only 2 polycules, the only 2 3-person ships I really have. That I can think of off the top of my head, mind you. There might be more, and I'm just not really thinking of them, but really that's what comes to mind. So it's like, the fact that, like, again, they called it a date. They did not hold back on that. So the fact that this was clearly meant to be a date, and it's like, maybe I'm just stupid. Maybe girls do this, and I don't do enough, you know, because I didn't come out until, like, I was already an adult. Maybe I just don't know about all of that. I don't know. But it's like, I don't think I've even really heard of that. Like, I've heard of, like, girls going out and hanging out and stuff. Like, yeah, of course, all the time. But to call it a date, it's like, I don't think I've heard of that before. Unless it was in like, a date. So, I don't know. I'm using it as fuel, but I don't know. I don't know if this series is going to, like, really, like, rant, like ride into that at all. I don't know if, like, they're going to, like, push the entire clearly gay aspect of it any further. I just don't know. I wouldn't mind by any means, but I don't know. Because right now it seems like it's in that realm where it's obvious, but refuses to actually canonically say anything. Like Carol and Tuesday. There was a lot of queer rep in Carol and Tuesday, but the main characters themselves, there was so much evidence of them being in love with each other. It was exceptional. But it never confirmed it. It never directly said it. And they never directly ended up with each other in that way by the end. But there was a lot of evidence to support the idea that they were a couple, or that at least that they loved each other in that way. And it's like, it's one of those things where I'm wondering if it was studio interference, or the creator just didn't feel like they could get away with it. But for Shinichiro Watanabe, in terms of Carol and Tuesday, it's like he's gone away with shit like this in his shows before. Like Cowboy Bebop has had queer characters, and he got away with a lot of other queer characters in Carol and Tuesday. There's even a sapphic romance between Marie and her girlfriend. So it's like, yeah, it's not like out of the question. But maybe the studios or whatnot, or maybe he didn't think he could get away with it being the main characters. I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to say, and I don't know what the case is here with Symphogear. All I can say is that there is definitely a lot there. Whether it ever fully gets confirmed or not, there is a shit ton of evidence there. It's like you see like Hibiki introduce Miku as her best friend, and it's like, no, she's not. They are so much more than just best friends. It's like it's so fucking obvious. It's like no one would look at their relationship and think just best friends. It's wild to me. And it's like I wish they could just like come out and just directly say it. But unfortunately Japan isn't as accepting of that still. Even to this day, and especially not in the time when this series came out. Like a lot of people can get away with making it plots for anime and stuff. Like there will be like queer anime characters and stuff. But like usually those are a very specific subset of anime, and it's harder to get, you know, representation in a more serious toned series like this, rather than be like specifically an ecchi or a yuri series or something like that, or a yaoi series. But when you're just talking like a what could I guess kind of count as a shonen in a way, a magical girl series or something like this, it's like it's not going to be as easy to get away with that, especially with main characters. Like Sailor Moon was able to get away with it with side characters, but even then there were a lot of hints, like a lot, that pretty much all of the Sailor Scouts are gay. Like like not like exclusively gay, obviously bi or pan or whatnot as well, but you know what I mean. There's a lot to go off of, and that's why anyone with common sense ships Ami with Makoto. Because it's like, it's so fucking obvious they belong together. Like, even beyond just, like, the actual canon pairing of Uranus and Neptune. But yeah. It's harder to do, especially in a serious show like this. In something that's a little goofier, again, something that's labeled as ecchi, yuri, or yaoi, or something like that. Obviously, it's kind of like a niche market in a way. Like Given, great series, but very much a niche series. It's not like one of those big shows. And Symphogear seems to be like kind of in the middle of that, from what I've gathered. Maybe someone in the comments can like clarify for me exactly, but from what I've gathered, it's not like a big show, but it's kind of like a cult classic in a way, to where after its initial airing and everything, it got like this massive fan base that just really fell in love with it, and it became bigger after the fact, basically. That's what I'm kind of getting from it. It's not super niche anymore at this point. Like, it's known about. Like, it's a series I have heard about plenty prior to reacting to. I didn't know much of anything about it. I just had heard of it. And now that I've been watching through it and enjoying it, it's like, it's not a series that I feel is very, like, unknown. Carol and Tuesday, I think, is more unknown than this. Which sucks, because Carol and Tuesday is amazing, and it shouldn't be as unknown as it is, but, you know, Netflix fucked everything up there. But, anyway, that's a rant for a different day. But yeah, it's just that this series, I feel, is big enough to where it, like, even when it was released, I feel like it was trying to be that kind of series, to where, again, it would just be hard to get away with that. But then again, I don't know. I don't know, like, the reasoning. I'm just kind of guessing based off of other things I've seen. I'm no expert in all of this. I'm no sense of authority here. I'm just talking, you know? But again, I am very, very interested to see where this goes and how it ends the season. So yeah, even if we never get, like, any direct confirmations or any direct, like, relationships start between these characters, I think that there's still enough to make it satisfying, at least, that you can still ship them and that you can still see them, even in a way, as girlfriends already. Like, that's basically how I see Hibiki and Miku. Like, they're already together. It's like they're just not directly saying it in the series. These two are not just best friends. They are very much girlfriends. But either way, let me know your thoughts on this episode down in the comments below. And for now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.